Hi YouTube, it's James Bennett here, your rent-to-rent property coach. Now, as you know, we're doing a whole new series of educational videos and we're going to get you from the whole A to Z of property investing. So whether you're a newbie to property investing or you're an experienced property investor, we are doing a series of videos to get you up to scratch on the whole topic, what is property investing. So I hope you've all had a chance to see our first educational video that dropped on Friday. It was the first video of this new series. It was all about calculating property deals and etc. So this new series will be released daily over the next month. Don't worry if you've missed any of my content or anything like that. It's all going to be right here on the channel. The links and everything will be within the description, but please hit that like and subscribe button if you want to get updates for whenever we go live, so you can keep updated and you can see what content we're putting out daily. So if you're new to my channel, I'm James Bennett, like I said before, the property coach, and I've made it my duty to bring you guys up to scratch on all things property investing. Now let's get back to today's video. Today we're going to go back to the start. So the scenario is you're new to the whole property investing game. You can see others out there doing property investing, you can see people getting rich, and you're considering doing your own journey yourself. So effectively starting out in property investing from the beginning. And yes, believe me, it can be a daunting prospect. You can have many things whirling around in your head, just like, do I have enough money? What if I buy a bad house? What if I lose all my money? Don't you have to be really clever and rich to be a landlord? Well, these are all just misconceptions, and I'm going to hopefully put them to bed within your mind. So don't worry about it anyway, it's just human nature. And I'm going to be here to be your guide and guide you through all things property investing. I'm also going to be answering all of your questions. If you've got any questions, please drop them in the comments below and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions individually. Okay, so property investing, where do I start? Now, there are a few different ways to start in property investing. And what we do, we break them down into individual routes, what we call strategies. So first of all, you've got the traditional buy-to-let method, which is simply you buy a property, you let it out to a single tenant or to a family who then pay you the rent every month to live in the property. It's a very simple and effective method, and it is used very widely throughout the UK. It's a commonly used strategy, and it's probably the most well-known strategy out there. But there's also other methods out there, or strategies should I say. The other one is pretty similar to the buy-to-let one I've just spoke about, but rather than renting the property out to a single person or to a family, we rent out the individual rooms on a room by room basis. Now this is called HMO, houses of multiple occupation. You can generate good monthly incomes from this strategy. We also have another variation which is called serviced accommodation. Some of you guys might have heard of it, some of you might not. You basically purchase a property in a holiday hotspot close to local attractions or local amenities, etc. You then rent out the property just like a mini hotel on a night by night basis. So effectively a little mini hotel. Moving on, we have also then got flipping properties, which is basically, it's how we started. I started flipping properties around about 11 years back. Still a strategy I do now, amongst other strategies what I've got in my arsenal. So flipping a property is when you buy a house, you conduct a renovation, hopefully to increase the value of the property, which you then sell on to make a profit. You can also buy a property at a discounted rate, which in the business we call BMV. You then simply sell the property on at the true market value and profit the difference. There's not that many BMV deals really out there, and it is a bit of a misconception whether or not BMV actually exists. We certainly just look for properties what we can add considerable value through renovation ourselves. All these strategies above, you're going to have a healthy pot of money in order to undertake, like a minimum of £25,000. So what if you don't have that kind of money? What if you've only got a small pot of money? Can you still invest in properties? Yes, the answer is yes, you definitely still can. This is where rent to rent becomes a brilliant idea. Now, I'm not too sure how many of you have heard of rent to rent. Rent to rent is when you rent a property on a company let agreement from an existing landlord. You agree on a monthly price. You then rent out the property on an individual room basis to HMO. Or you rent the house out on a nightly basis, which is the rent to serviced accommodation model. This is a great way to get into property investing if you're a beginner or you don't have massive deposits to go out there and actually purchase properties with. You're simply managing a property and pocketing the profits. Have you ever heard of companies like Uber who do the taxi service? They don't actually own any of their taxis, they simply just manage them. There's also a famous quote, and it goes, "I own nothing but control everything." A famous guy called Rockefeller actually said this quote, and this is basically the philosophy of rent to rent. You effectively don't own the property, you're just managing that property, you're simply controlling that asset. Rent to rent can effectively be undertaken for as little as £5,000 per deal and can make you really good healthy profits of anywhere between £750 per calendar month up to about £1,500 per calendar month. Now, all of these strategies above are amazing tools to have at your disposal, and they can all be done really profitable if they're done correctly. Now today, what my mission was to open up your eyes to all these different strategies. Most of you won't never have heard of these strategies before. I'm simply just introducing you to these strategies so you know that they're out there. Some will seem more attractively suited to yourself and some will fit individuals in different ways. Some of these strategies demand more money than others, and some of them you need more knowledge, some of them you might need more skills and experience, etc. There's also another couple of more strategies worth mentioning, but as I'm sticking to kind of like a beginner's strategy, how to get into property, I'm not going to go into too much detail in these other strategies as they are definitely a bit more advanced. One we use on a day-to-day basis is called BRRR. Yes, I know, it's a funny name, I get it all the time. It actually stands for buy, refurbish and refinance. It's more of a specialist strategy and it's not really targeted at beginners, but it's as simple as it sounds. You buy a property, you then add value through refurbishment, you then release your finances with a buy-to-let mortgage, and then you simply rent the property out and repeat the process. It's a great way of recycling your cash, protecting your pot of money and growing a healthy, sustainable portfolio. Like I say, I'm not going to go massively into detail of this because it's a bit more of a step up from what we're talking about today. But we use this strategy on a day-to-day basis and it serves us very well indeed. Now, over the coming days, what I'm going to do, I'm going to break these strategies down into individual videos. I'll probably fit 1 or 2 strategies onto each video, which I'm going to drop over the next couple of days. So each day I'm going to be dropping a different video with these strategies, what we've just spoke about, so you can thoroughly wrap your head around them and you can get the best understanding of what strategy is going to be suitable for you and what fits you best, really. Please remember, guys, hit that like and subscribe button for all your daily hints and tips, and you'll get all the daily updates from me. We've also got a free strategy call service, so I'll put the link in the description below. Click on the link, it'll go over to our webpage. You can book in a strategy call with myself. We can have a chat and we can go over what strategy actually suits you best. Now, we do get quite busy with our strategy booking service, so make sure you're one of the first to get on there to make sure you reserve yourself a slot. Now, I'd like to say thanks everybody who watched right the way through to the end, and I hope I've opened up your eyes to many more property investing opportunities. Now, I'll catch you all soon, guys, and tomorrow we'll be dropping another video with some more hints and tips on all things property investing. I've been James Bennett. Thanks, guys.